Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it.
Like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, cold shit, fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let them hate.
So long story short, just about last night, I got really curious and really bored, and I was like, oh man, goddamn, when does the 2020-2021 NBA season start? So what I did was pull out my iPhone, bring up Google's, and I found out that it started December 22nd, which is about 2 weeks away from now, and even scarier than that is that the preseason starts on the 11th, which is literally this Friday, and I didn't realize that until last night. Time is ticking, and I'm kinda in a rush to feed y'all all my thoughts, so we can have a few more conversations until we see that ball bounce up on that hardwood court once again. In today's little marathon, I'm going to give you my 2020-2021 NBA season power rankings. Now look, just so you know, and just so I won't be personally harassed 6, 7, 8, 9 months from now, whenever the season is over, I need to clarify that this is the NBA, and literally everything and anything can happen. The slightest misfortune to a valuable player on any team can derail and just make my power rankings look quite fugly. And also mid-season trades can happen too. Right now I'm just going off of what we all know right now. If you thought some of the greatest blockers of all time was Manu, Bope, and Dikembe Mutombo, you haven't seen me in these comment sections. Word on the street is that I'm pretty much a Hall of Famer, and I average just about 8 of those per video. Get at me if you want. Coming in number 30 are the Detroit Pistons. Long story short, they reek, but have a good thing going for them. They have a growing and glowing environment for the future. Keyword in that last sentence is the future. That means that their time is not right now. Thousands of Detroit Pistons fans, I just admitted already that I'm probably going to be rooting for the worst team in the NBA. But at least you get to see one of the more exciting prospects out of this last draft class, Killian Hayes, be kind of mentored by that man Derrick Rose, aka one of the could have been greatest point guards of all time. Outside of that, I mean, the Pistons don't really have much to get excited for, but maybe like Sekou Doumbouya and what Jeremy Grant looks like playing the 3 spot, and Saddiq Bey, who can actually be a very solid player. I don't see much to be excited for the Detroit Pistons. To all my Detroit Pistons fans out there, you know that I try to look out for all of my boys, and you are probably my boy. If not, you should become my boy by subscribing to this channel and also leaving a like. But here's what I want you to do. Look up every single game that the Detroit Pistons play, and I want you to take a nap during them games. Take a nap because I don't want you going through no type of pain whenever you're seeing them play. Coming in at 29 are the New York Knicks. Now the Knicks didn't do anything incredibly stupid for the first time in a very, very long time, which is lit. But sadly, they still will suck. They will be a better team from last year though, but that doesn't really hold much weight because just about everyone else got better in the NBA. Something to look forward to as a Knicks fan is looking out for that RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Robinson Mitchell Robinson, whoopsies, trio. That trio is probably going to be one of the best things that happened to this organization in a very long time. The New York Knicks got a lot of new people in their front office, which a lot of people do not realize, and they're playing their cards right now, and I ain't gonna lie, maybe in just 2 to 3 years from now, they may be a playoff team. You never know. Just know that right now that they're starting off on the right track. Coming in at number 28 are the Cleveland Cavaliers. This team has a lot of guards. There's a lot of weird guard combos, but hey, things should be kinda exciting over there. Don't get me wrong, this is gonna be another L of a year as expected, but it's gonna be an experimental, developmental type year for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're gonna see what works, what doesn't work, and who they need to stick with in the long haul. Number 27, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, these boys are tanking, and they're tanking really hard, but at the same time, I ain't gonna lie, they still have a semi-respectable basketball team. This semi-respectable basketball team is not what OKC is known for or going to be known for. What they're going to be known for is all those picks that they have stashed up in the back of their pocket, and also Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and how he's about to go berserk this up and coming season. I can see this man averaging anywhere from 26 to 27 points per game on this empty, lonely, slick, depressing OKC team this season. Charlotte Hornets are at number 26. They're at number 26 because I believe that they're gonna be, of course, garbage, but one of the more fun garbage teams to watch. Melo Ball's passing is surreal, and all his teammates and the coaching staff just got a slight taste of that in the first couple practices that they had over there in Charlotte, of course. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a very truthful dude. Whenever Charlotte would play, I would purposely avoid that channel and run away from them and watch anything but the Charlotte Hornets play. But now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna seek out their games because I want to see LaMelo Ball play. I want to see that man throw lobs to that man, Miles Bridges. I want to see PJ Washington hoop. I want to see Devontae Graham and his crazy quickness go crazy on the court alongside LaMelo Ball. There's gonna be a really fun duo and trio to watch, and you can't lie about that either. That man Gordon Hayward is gonna do not great things for them, but good things with his nice veteran presence. I'm really excited to watch the Charlotte Hornets play basketball. Even though they're going to be one of the top 10 worst teams in the league, at the same time, they're going to be one of the top 10 most exciting teams in the league to watch, simply because of LaMelo Ball and the type of players that they have around really Devontae Graham, PJ Washington, and Miles Bridges, and those crazy dunks. At number 25 is the Sacramento Kings. There is not a second in my life where I haven't questioned the Sacramento Kings and what the hell is going on up inside their GM and manager's mind. The only real thing to look forward to this upcoming season is Marvin Bagley and Tyrese Halliburton. We know what De'Aaron Fox is gonna do. He's gonna go and ball the hell out as usual. Nothing is gonna change, but when it comes to guys like Marvin Bagley, who hasn't really left his mark in the NBA in any form at all because that man is always hurt, he's gonna have a lot to prove, or else his value in the NBA is gonna heavily move up or down. I ain't gonna lie, that rhyme. Some internet money, Interscope, someone need to sign me. Sony, someone need to sign me and hand me that contract so I can sell my soul. Okay, let me relax. I'm getting too hyped right now. Being a Sacramento Kings fan is not really the greatest thing out there at all. To any of my new NBA fans out there, I don't recommend. Here's a shocker. I have the Houston Rockets coming in at number 24. Now look, the Houston Rockets are a big, gigantic mess right now. As we all know, they just traded away that man Russell Westbrook and just added John Wall into the roster. And I feel like everybody in the NBA community got to let their thoughts fly about this trade except for me, and I did that for a reason because I wanted to save it up until this very moment right now. And since then, things have just gone probably worse for the Houston Rockets because as in the making of this video on this Sunday, December 7th, that man James Harden didn't even show up to a practice, and it was rumored that he was going to show up to practice later that night, and news just came out that he didn't even show up to this practice that he was promised to go to. Instead, you know where he was at? It's James Harden. If you knew James Harden and his history, you'd know that that man was at a strip club, and it was caught in 4K live video that this man was turning up with a bunch of strippers throwing up money in the air. The Houston Rockets are not taking this situation with James Harden seriously at all. That man wants to be traded, and the only reason why I have the Houston Rockets so low is me assuming that they're gonna trade James Harden sometime soon. Now the Houston Rockets don't want to do it at all, but this man James Harden is going to. I said that he's going to try to sabotage his way into being traded. If you guys didn't know, the NBA is taking this pandemic very seriously, and if a player from any organization is seen crossing any lines and breaking rules, attending functions, doing things with a large group of people that they're not supposed to do, the NBA is going to strip first round picks, heavily fine teams, and so many other serious punishments. So the Houston Rockets right now are playing with fire, and I ain't gonna lie, this is the type of fire that they don't want to play with. Nobody should really want to play with fire. That was kind of weird wording, but anyways, back into my bag like I was saying. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna trade James Harden, or else he's gonna sabotage this organization and completely destroy their future. And to be honest, I kind of compare this as to a similar situation that man Jimmy Butler was in just about 2 years ago when he was on the Minnesota Timberwolves. This man didn't get traded until the very start of the season, and the only reason why he got traded is because he made a whole bunch of commotion and started up so much drama. It's looking like James Harden is going to replicate something like that this up and coming season. That's why I have the Houston Rockets so low up on my power rankings list. 23, the Orlando Magic. Oh man, and I just went from something really exciting to talk about to something really boring and mid. The Orlando Magic, literally, virtually, just about nothing has changed for them, and there's nothing to be excited for. And once again, I don't think they're a lock to make the playoffs, and I think they missed the playoffs this year because nothing crazy has happened with them at all. And also, that man Jonathan Isaac is still hurt. He tore something, and that man is very, very important to this team and organization, and for that, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. They didn't make too many offseason improvements. One thing that I know, or a few things that I know that will improve with them, is that man Markelle Fultz. He's been improving ever since he touched down onto their organization, and also Cole Anthony is someone that you really, really want to keep your eye on too. Number 22, the San Antonio Spurs. They literally did nothing this offseason to really catch my eye outside of, you know, drafting that man Devin Vassell, who is one of my personal favorite rookies coming out of this 2020 NBA draft class. But outside of that, bro, They're gonna miss the playoffs again. They're not fun to watch. They're not fun to talk about. They lost out on that man Brent Forms. They also signed some other guard that I couldn't put my tongue on right now. Let me go find out for you boys real quick. Just got it. I don't know how his name slipped out of my mind, but that man Trey Jones. There's nothing really exciting to talk about when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs. They're the same boring old dry old organization that they have been over the past 3 to 4 years now. 21, the Indiana Pacers. We've now been on a repeat when it comes to talking about mid teams in the NBA, and the Indiana Pacers are another mid team. They haven't done anything crazy to improve their team at all. If anything, they've pretty much stayed the exact same, and they didn't improve their team in the Eastern Conference when just about all the other playoff teams in the Eastern Conference, except for maybe one, a little bit shaky on just how good Victor Oladipo can be after this injury. But to be honest, I feel like this is the last year that we'll see that man Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner in a Pacers jersey, because I think that they're gonna have a pretty depressing year. Not depressing, but underwhelming year, and that's for good reason too. At number 20 is the Chicago Bulls. They took a step back last year, but should take a couple steps forward this year with all the improvements that they made within their organization on their roster, and also when it comes to their coaching situations. As we all know, bro, they had like the worst coach in the NBA, and I had to hear one of my friends on this platform, Rusty Buckets, cry about it almost every single day. So just know that they got better. Zach LaVine, of course, is gonna come back better, and I'm especially looking forward to that man Larry Markkinen coming back much better as well, because he was severely underutilized, and also so is that man Wendell Carter Jr. And I'm hearing that this man, I didn't hear anything. I saw on Twitter that this man was going to get much more opportunities once the season comes around, and Wendell Carter Jr. is severely underrated when it comes to talking about good young players in the NBA. Do I think the Bulls are going to make the playoffs? No, probably not. But would it surprise me if they did? No, because that man Kobe White is getting better. Larry Markkinen has to have a better year. There is no such thing as worse for Larry Markkinen compared to what he had this past season. Wendell Carter Jr. is getting better as well. I just see the Chicago Bulls getting right back on track from where they left off 2 years ago. Okay, here we go. Number 19, the Golden State Warriors. So Klay Thompson's injury completely derailed their rankings, and now they don't have the depth, in my opinion, to maintain a top spot in the Western Conference. One of my 2 biggest fears for the Golden State Warriors this up and coming season is Steph Curry's health and how consistent he can be when it comes to making appearances on the court, and also that man Andrew Wiggins. The Golden State Warriors never really needed Andrew Wiggins to be anything crazy or be a 25-point per game scorer or anything like that, but if they ever needed that man to do something really productive, it is now. They need him now more than ever, because that man Klay Thompson is of course out, as y'all know, for a long period of time. He's not going to play this season, and we probably won't see him until next season, the 2022 NBA season, which sounds really depressing. So I'm not really sure how good of a player Andrew Wiggins will be this up and coming season, and how consistent he can be as well. I seen that man bulked up, which is a great sign, but I'm still very unsure as to how serious he's going to take the season. This is a great opportunity for him. The Warriors need someone like him to come in and step up and be Steph's number 2 up on the basketball court. That man Kelly Oubre is nice and has the potential to be a good number 2, but I'd very much rather that man Andrew Wiggins be number 2, because we can all agree with this. Andrew Wiggins is just more talented than Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is more of a 4th, max 3rd option dude on that team. And also, I almost forgot to mention this about the Warriors. Their depth really scares me. Off of the bench, I believe they don't have anyone too great coming off of the bench except for that man Eric Paschall. I'm really iffy about that. They got James Wiseman. I'm pretty sure he's going to be starting, but I just don't think you can expect too much of James Wiseman coming into the season, because he's a rookie, and the Western Conference have so many big men, great big men, who are going to be coming after his neck. Number 18, the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, this Jaren Jackson Jr. injury is going to heavily affect them, and is solely the reason why they're this low up on this power rankings list. Now, if Jaren Jackson Jr. was, of course, healthy and ready to go this up and coming season, then I would have them a lot higher. They would be around the 15, 14, maybe even 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. I'm just kidding. They wouldn't be around that range, but they would be a playoff team, or at least closer to that. With Jaren Jackson Jr. out, a lot of people believe him to be the best player on that team. I still think Ja's the best player, but whatever. That doesn't matter. Just know that he's a vital piece of what they have going on, and without him, they can't move in unison as a unit, because that man Jaren Jackson Jr. is a very unique talent out there on the basketball court. Now, the Grizzlies did do their thing this offseason by getting guys like Desmond Bane, Xavier Tillman, and also doing their thing in free agency, but I just don't see them having the firepower in the Western Conference to solidify a playoff spot. And it really sucks to say because that man John Morant deserves to be in the playoffs this year. The New Orleans Pelicans come swooping in at number 17. Now I'm really iffy on Zion Williamson's health. That is a major factor as to why they are where they are on this list. I just have too many questions for the New Orleans Pelicans going into this season, and me having too many questions about any team, that just shortens my confidence by a whole lot. I understand that they got a massive upgrade at the center spot by getting that man Steven Adams, but I'm still really worried about Zion Williams' health and just how consistent he can be on the court. And also, I'm worried about the fit on the court as well, because Jrue Holiday was spotless, seamless out there working alongside Lonzo Ball and JJ Redick. But now they got that man Eric Bledsoe, and that is a considerable drop off when it comes to talent and fit. Eric Bledsoe kind of reeks. Today, I'm not completely writing this team off as a potential playoff contender. That'll be just really childish, and I'd look like a fool, so I'm not doing that. At number 16 are the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a very sneaky, deep team with a lot of talent that just needs to learn how to gel well, and that of course comes with time. And I feel like as the season goes on, since everybody pretty much fits pretty well next to each other on the court, that they'll get exponentially better. They have a lot of talent on this team. They got that man D'Angelo Russell, Michael Beasley, Jarrett Culver, who is getting better. Don't roast that man or me, please, not anymore, for giving praise to him. Of course, they just got the number 1 overall pick, Anthony Edwards, and I didn't even get to mention the best shooting big man of all time in Karl Anthony Towns. And they also have that man Ricky Rubio coming back for them this season. This team has a lot of really nice players, complimentary players doing their thing for them. They got Josh Okogie. A lot of y'all will compare me to Josh Okogie, and if I see, swear to God on my life, if I see you comment Josh Okogie and how he looks like me, I'm blocking you, okay? Maybe not really, I'm not soft, but please stop saying that.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made it free the way, told my girl